if you're new to this kind of
Yeah.
lending, that's the hardest thing is it takes a good year to figure out what to do with it. And what the beauty of having the lender base included is that it cuts that year down to a couple of months where you kind of find out who does what and how well they do it. Where I was digging around, calling people and asking for, you can't do it, who can do it? Who else can I call? And asking for referrals to other lenders because it was kind of like a black hole.
Yeah.
Because if you
Yeah.
haven't
And
been
that
doing it, you don't know.
that's exactly why we built Lenderbase. Our own team was like Alex, she does
Right.
the lending and stuff now. She's like, man, I wish we had this years ago when we first started doing this.
Oh yeah, because it's a nightmare if you don't
It's
know who to call
yeah.
about this deal. You're looking at the computer and you're Googling stuff trying to figure things out. And that's why Janover can charge so much friggin' money because they
Yeah.
already have the database. And if you're part of this system and you get access to Lenderbase, it's just a matter of you finding the people you're comfortable working with.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a shortcut for sure. And if you couple that with the system, you've shortcutted everything. I started looking at the lender bases and I started playing around with that. Uh, and it's nice because I spent a bunch of money on Janover, 2,000 bucks a year. And, it's, I don't think it's as good as what you've got in Lenderbase. I think it's more extensive, but it's not easy to deal with. And you still winding up making phone calls. You just have a list of people who say they can do the deal. Where this one, you can just submit to like 4 or 5 people at once and be done with it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. We're pretty happy with it. And honestly, I've heard almost that precise feedback from a couple of people. Seems like a lot of people have used Janover. So the price as a client here for free is hopefully pretty good, right?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
and we're continuing to develop it. We have some really cool stuff planned for it, like that the term sheet that you can send to clients. Have you seen that got added in there too?
Yeah, and I haven't played with it too much, but I know it's in there. But yeah, it's been pretty helpful, the lender based thing.
And actually in Lenderbase too, if you haven't noticed, you can leave your ratings, which help. Well, obviously you can favorite the lenders that you like too. So that's one good way to just go back to them for, for some reason you forget, or if you have an assistant or team member. But the other is people review them inside there. So then you can kind of get like feedback from other people like, oh man, they're really slow, or they like take 4 times as long as they say, and I know those are issues that really happen. That's actually why we added that stuff in there so you kind of have a little bit more of an expectation. So you're not just matching, your deal to a handful of lenders, but you're also able to like almost pre-assess them. Like, do I even want to send it to this person? That tool got built just so if you didn't, is basically it's like these are all either lenders, our lending divisions either worked with, or at the very least they've been like vetted and spoken to. So we know they're like, legit, they're doing business. And unlike tools like Janover, and there's some others that like just include so much stuff, banks, credit unions, all that stuff. We wanted to make sure basically that these are all essentially as vetted as possible, and they're very specific to this, the private lending space. Obviously, with DSCR in there, which is, some people would say
A
maybe
hybrid.
is on the fence of private lending, but you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a hybrid. Some of my regular conventional lenders do them, and
Yeah.
sometimes they do them well, sometimes they don't.